Hey guys, and of course welcome back to the Time Bomb channel with myself, the Bombardier, and today we are looking at something a little different. We're going high class fashionista, baby. As the title of the vid suggests, this is the Bulgari or Bulgari reference BB38CLCH. It comes from the mid-noughties and has been lent into the channel today for review. Bit of background on Bulgari or Bulgari. It was founded by Mr. Bulgari, no surprise, who was a Greek silversmith back in the late 1800s, and he became very famous through their jewellery stores, which then stayed, I think, within the family for many, many years, although most of their jewellery stores, as I understand, were located in Italy. They started making watches back in the 1970s, and this Roma edition, I think, was one of their first from 1975, and allegedly it was a special moment, but I'm not feeling it myself. That was then followed up by this one. This is the Bulgari 1977, which is clearly where our watch of today gets most of its cues. Just while I'm talking there, let's just give a quick shot of the watch, a quick overview. Yep, very, very black, or blacked out, carbonized. So it's called the carbon series, although I'm going with the fact that this must be some kind of polycarbonate. This particular range of these ones, the chronos, was released in 2005, with the Capri, I think, being the first. It's curious how they were a step behind Ford with their model name choices. Bulgari are still making watches nowadays, quite a few of them, and here's a shot of their current chrono, but I'm wondering if anyone can explain why they're bragging about aluminium here on the dial. These models, though, are part of a series which all carry certain city names. We've got the Tokyo, the Paris, the Riyadh, etc., whilst ours today is the... Make sure I just get a better close-up shot of that. Ours is the Cortina. Our family had a Cortina back in the late 70s, early 80s, I think it was. It was white, and I've got a strange memory. I think it had a green interior. These were massively, massively popular cars back then. And yet for our American cousins, I think for you guys it was the early Taurus. Is that right? But anyway, coming back to the watch for today, I'm going with the fact that this watch perhaps took its name from Cortina in the Dolomites. So these watches are typically sold as limited editions. I think there's 999 of each of the different city versions. And if the camera will allow me, you can just see on the side here, sort of screwed in there, you've got a little silver plate which says this is 840 out of 99. I'm pretty sure on all of those that I've seen that's repeated across all of them. It's 38 mils across, and as I mentioned before, it's a deep black carbon fibre. But again, is it a polycarbonate? I'm not completely sure. I couldn't find any clear details on that, which obviously in turn makes this watch super, super light to handle. It's a quartz chrono, and again, I couldn't find any detail on what the movement actually is, so I'm going to hazard a guess. It's because on the back here it says fabric in Swiss mecha quartz inside, an ETA maybe. It does have a sapphire crystal up front, and that's actually one of the main things that I really do like about the watch, that depending on the light, depending on the angle, that crystal is almost invisible at times. I mean, there's a very good shot of it. And I don't know, it just sits flush with that bezel aspect. But as I say, it almost disappears, and all you can see is that sort of like little black depth. I think that's really a really nice design feature. I'm guessing as well that we've got a nominal water resistance here, so it's resistant to your Chianti spillage, but perhaps not much more. I think it's only 3 ATMs. You do have loom, which rather than being dolloped on it's finely applied at the hour pips and the hands, as you can see. Just down there at the 4 o'clock, sorry, my camera's running off. Yeah, just down there at the 4 o'clock, you can see we've got a nicely colour matched date wheel. And I think, again, looking at those silver subdials, I think they're really very well finished. All of them have those then radiating concentric circles. We really do like those. What we don't like, though, is that at this price point, the second hands, when using the chronos, is misaligned. So let me just kick off the chrono. So yeah, nice little crunch here. And as it moves down that right-hand side of the dial, as I say, for me, I'm picking up a lot of the time that it is misaligned. Sorry, I need to look at this. Yeah, you can see it. It's not on all of the markers, but on alternate markers, it really doesn't pick it up, and it's just a little bit odd. These watches, second-hand, retail at anything between £1,500, £2,000. So yes, as a quartz, it should at least be aligned, methinks. You've got then obviously standard sort of start-stop chrono buttons here. But this one's quite interesting. I'm not sure if the camera is going to pick it up. The 4 o'clock reset button goes off with a resounding crunch, which almost then puts you off as you follow the hands back up to their starting point. Let me see if I can just activate that now, see if the camera picks up on it. Yeah. It's quite, as I say, it's quite fun. Yeah, really affirmative crunch. On the side here, the other between the chrono buttons, of course, you've got an unsigned crown. However, I think this is designed for gentlemen with finer fingers than myself, because I'm not sure if you can just see, but there's a very slight indentation just below that crown, and that's all you can do to get your fingernail in there. As I say, I really struggle. But yeah, I think that's just what they're going with this particular watch. It doesn't work particularly for me. Highly evident on this watch, of course, then is the reliance on branding. You've got the engraving here on the fixed bezel, then there at the 9 o'clock, and then sort of deep etched into the back on the case back, which is in turn just held in by those 4 very small screws. The lugs are non-drilled, but then again, I'm not. I don't imagine that this particular watch has been designed with strap changes in mind. The strap itself is a soft, rubberized, and got little indentations on the back there. Perhaps I'm guessing that's for comfort rather than water disbursement, sort of like a rally style with its little holes. Considering its age, the white stitching is still very clean. Double keepers on the thing on here. And then, of course, topped off with a very simple, unbranded stainless steel buckle. I think, sort of in summary, I do really like the overall aspect of the watch. I think the deep black with those silver panda dials is really nice visually. If it didn't have so much branding, was a little bit bigger, and was a little bit more accurate and aligned, then yeah, even better. Just pop it on wrist. I'm wearing the new G-Shock. And it's quite interesting because today, for the first time, I picked up on something. If you look at the bottom of the hour, the minute hand, you've got really quite a large blacked out counterbalance. And any time that the minute hand is, say, 180 degrees from the hour hand, it actually obscures about 60 to 70% of the hour hand. Really quite an odd one, actually. I didn't notice that before, but anyway, I'm rambling. Let's pop the Bulgari on wrist so that you can see how it looks here. As I say, as a 38mm, I mean, even the strap. I mean, my wrist 7 1/4. As you can see here, it's pretty. I think it's designed for smaller chaps. But on wrist, it doesn't actually look that bad. And as I say, that's the thing I think that appealed to me. That sort of blacked out, very clean design style. But yeah, just over-reliance on branding here, and a little bit of a dodgy quartz mechanism, I think, inside. In conclusion then, I think it doesn't really tick that many of my boxes. However, when the wife saw it, she was most impressed. So it will clearly appeal to those seeking visual appeal. Not quite sure why she chose me in that case. But anyway guys, what do you reckon? Are we going to cut the red wire or perhaps the blacked out wire on this one? And as always, I very much look forward to reading your comments down below. And until next time, this is your host, the Bombardier, signing off. Cheers, guys.